Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this and our now over 450 episodes of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, no matter where you are, if you're in the United States or in the country, territory, province, across the world. We're all human beings and we are bringing people together. We're uniting people. We're not dividing people. And that's um, one of the main pillars that is built on the foundation of mental health, mental illness, trauma, recovery. Uh, if you can help us spread the word about Voices for Voices and our TV show and podcast, we would greatly appreciate that. If you could reach out to 25, 50, maybe 100 of your contacts in your phone, let them know about the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We're third behind the Joe Rogan Experience and the Dan Bongino show, and it's only because of you that is helping us reach at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And with your help, we have gotten here. With your help, we can reach people in over 300 countries, territories, provinces. We're well over 100, and we're well over 1,100 cities across this great planet Earth. So we want to say thank you as always. Without your support, uh, without your demand to watch and listen, we wouldn't have a show. We wouldn't have a reason to come to you, to share, to talk. Uh, Many times, as you know, especially for those returning viewers and listeners. Again, let me just reiterate, we, a 501c nonprofit charity, 501c3 nonprofit charity organization with literally like one staff, and that's me, that shoots these episodes, that edits, that drops them. Uh, we have a lot of help, um, but 90% of the work falls on my shoulders. So I am very happy to have you with us, whether this is your first show or you've been with us all 400 and now 451. This is the 451st show of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We don't have a huge staff like the Dan Bongino show and then like the Joe Rogan Experience. And so that's what makes this so remarkable, so incredible, an incredible feat to get to this point. Uh, and we're here to help. You've heard me say many, 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 many times that this part of my life on is helping people. That's what we're here for. The first, say the first half of my life, uh, I didn't I didn't focus a lot of time on helping people. I spent a lot of time on myself. And while there's still days and times and points where I do uh, focus on myself, a lot of it is self-care, um, instead of just having that ego. Uh, so thank you for joining us. I I do. I spend 5 minutes or so at the beginning of each show just thanking each and every one of you because without you, we wouldn't have an audience. We wouldn't have viewers. We wouldn't have listeners. Uh, we try to keep politics out and culture in. So we cover a lot of hard topics, a lot of tough topics humanly. And we also talk about areas of the world that others won't. And we look at that from a cultural perspective, not a political perspective, because we're all we're all human beings. And so no matter where a person lives, no matter what government, what type of government their country, territory, province has, uh, we we have to include everybody. And so we do. We get great feedback, and I want to thank you for the feedback you've been giving us over going on 3 years. It's incredible to think where we're at, uh, and so we're gonna get started finally. So there's a lot of things going on here, Voices for Voices, and across the world. Um, there's military things going on. There's uh, non-military things going on. Uh, but again, we just have to stay together as a human race. We have to stay together, and we have to be for peace. We we want peace. We don't want war. We want to help people, not unite, or help and unite, not divide people. And if that's the only thing that you take away from this show, in this particular episode, then that's fantastic. To be able to do that. And a lot of people have tried. A lot of people, there's a lot of lip service of, well, we want peace and we want to help people. Let me tell you, it is a sham what is going on with a lot of these nonprofits and a lot of these organizations that people are pointed to when they are in crisis, when they are in need. Uh, what do I mean by a sham? I mean, they're not helping. They're more concerned on statistics, on how many people called in, um, not how many people are we directly helping. And we're continuing after this phone call. And I'm speaking from experience. There's a lot of organizations that we're being pointed to when, if there's an issue, if there's a problem going on, we're supposed to be pointed to organizations and people that can help, not hurt, not just be the status quo, but actually help. And I think that's the big takeaway for this show. We've spoken about this before, but it's so important because it's still happening at this very moment where we reach out. Somebody says, "Oh, reach out to organization XYZ. They'll be able to help you. They'll be able to point you in the right direction. They'll be able to help you because you're going through a very tough, very difficult, a situation that shouldn't even be happening, frankly." And the calls, people are compassionate on the phone for the most part, but being compassionate and executing and helping people is a lot different. So if you call me, I'm just giving an example. You call me, this is an example of an organization, actually more than one, like tens, if not hundreds. Okay, ring, 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 ring. Hello, this is Justin Allen Hayes with blank 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 Association. How can I help you? Well, I'm going through this situation. Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? Yes. So this happened, that happened. There's a law here and here. And I was told that you'd be able to help me find maybe I need legal representation. And I don't have any money because I've been taken advantage of for a good part of my life. And then here's me. Oh, well, I'm just a volunteer and I'm just picking up the phone and I'm sorry to hear that. Uh, but have you reached out to your local police? Yes, I have. Have you reached out to the local bar association? Yes, I have. And and were they any help? No, they weren't. Uh, they want money, right? People want to be paid. I get it. But when I hear, so I'm stepping away from my hypothetical call. When I hear, oh yeah, you'll be helped. You call here that you'll be helped. You'll be helped. Help doesn't mean that the phone gets picked up. Help doesn't mean that the person sits and listens to a problem that is going on and has been going on for many years, 13, 14 years. That's nice. And we're grateful for that. We're thankful that there is somebody that did pick up the phone. But when we talk about execution, when we talk about at the end of the day, when I hang up that phone, am I going to feel better about my situation? Or am I going to feel the same or worse? That and stepping back into the call, well, sorry, we don't have any, attorneys on staff. Um, have you reached out to this other organization? Oh yeah, so I've reached out to that. And were they any help? Not really. They didn't help me in my situation. Yeah, they listen. And so yeah, it took up an hour of my time. But there was no help again, there's no help. There's no legal help. I'm being attacked in court. I'm being attacked on TikTok and other social platforms. And so now I'm stepping out of the call because that's how the calls go. I've been on probably 100 calls, if not more. That's exactly how they go. And to take it a step further, issues, problems, they don't know the day of the week. So to say, oh, okay, call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, yeah, you can call and you can probably talk to a person maybe, but when it's a weekend and you need and I need and others need help, and somebody says, on the other side of the phone says, well, our regular staff will be in on Monday. Well, that's great. I'm glad they're going to be in on Monday, but I might not be alive on Monday. You don't understand. And then the person on the other side of the phone says, "Oh, yes, I do. I'm so sorry. I'm not be able to help." But just we gotta help people, man. We gotta help people, and we gotta follow through. Let's follow through. Let's help people. Let's help people. Can we do that? Let's execute and help. Give real support, not fluff. Doesn't take a genius to figure this stuff out. So I want the word to get out. We need organizations to follow through that actually have the resources to help, to help, and to follow through. I don't need any more organizations to pick up the phone and tell me, oh, I'm so sorry. We don't need that. We need people that are going to step behind us. They're going to put us on their shoulders and they're going to help us until the problem is is done, that somebody is safe. That's what we want. Health, safety, security, food, water, clothing, shelter. So let's help make people safer, healthier, feel like they are cared about. Can we do that? I think we can. And so that's what we're doing. We're echoing what's happening in the world in certain areas. And that's why we're bringing this up because it's such a problem. It's a huge problem. Huge problem. If somebody says, I'm going to help you, but yeah, at the end of the day, they don't, and they don't give you the resources besides, oh, we'll call this number, call that number, call that number. Well, if anybody's gone through trauma and mental illness and had a panic attack like I've had, the more work you want me to do, the more things, the more panic that I'm going to get, the more anxious I'm going to get. And that's me. I have a great team. There's still times that I need others to help me and that you may need help. And if you're from one of these organizations, do something, please. Don't make these victims, these survivors, do all this work and just do lip service. We don't need lip service. We need actual action. We need people to help. We need people to help right now, not tomorrow, not the next day, not on Monday, if it's a Saturday. We need help right now. And so if you're an organization and you can't provide that, then we don't need you as an organization. And I say this with all due respect. I say this with all due respect. If all you're going to do is answer the phone and just be a listening ear, that's great. That's great to have that listening ear. But at the end of the day, we need help. We need somebody that's going to step up, step out, and help. They're going to find an attorney to help pro bono. They're going to help find a counselor that's willing to help with the least amount of action that us as the affected, not infected, affected person. So if you're able to, we are helping people through our show, our podcast. If you're able to, you can donate to us at lovevoices.org, lovevoices.org, lovevoices.org. And this has been Justin Allen Hayes with Voices for Voices. Please be a voice for you or somebody in need. We'll see you on the next show. Bye bye.